Yeah, it's moved quite quickly over the last 48 hours, and the opportunity to manage Sheffield Wednesday, such a huge club, a historic club, that traditions, as the chairman said there's been many managers interested and applicants for it. The fact that they've come and spoke to me and like I said, it's moved quickly over the last 40 hours or so. But just excited. That's the main overriding feeling right now. Excited to get going. I'm lucky where I've had a experience quite a few years ago of being here as a player. Even though that was a very short stint, I still got, it gave me enough time to understand exactly what this club is and the feeling of how powerful it can be, with that fan base and that support. And I've always had that in my mind whenever I've come back here, and that experience I had before. I think coming back here in the years since then is to try and actually keep that support quiet. That's been part of the plan, but now it's the shoes on the other foot back here, is to use that fan base and that support and that passion that you see clearly with Sheffield Wednesday, and try and use that to our advantage. And that'll be done by performances, results of course, but wearing that shirt and putting the right mentality and fight there is key.
So last 48 hours we talked about, is that the first time that the club's talked to you since Steve Bruce left about taking over here? Has there been any contact before then?
Yeah, like I said, it's moved quickly in the last 48 hours or so. But delighted to be here. That this type of job, of course, it's going to be competitive, but that's not really been in my thinking. The fact that they wanted to speak to me, and then we had good conversations. I liked the chairman a lot and how he spoke and how passionate he was about the club, and then obviously meeting the players and everyone today. As I said, I know Sheffield Wednesday very, very well. I know those players. I've come up against them and watched them a lot over especially the recent years, and know what they're capable of. But as I said, we're in a league where there's a lot of capable squads. It's about adding what I think they need, and there's solid foundations there already. It's just trying to add to the mentality as well as the football what I think it can help it and help those players. That's the main thing, is to help these players reach their capability. If we can do that, then we know with the quality that's there to be able to be very successful in this league.
Clearly there's a lot of pressure that comes with this role, but you've been at some other big clubs. You've heard the chairman, you've heard his expectations to it. Do you feel all that sort of geared you up to give this a really good shot at getting Sheffield Wednesday where they want to be?
I think pressure's part of the job. It doesn't matter what situation that club's in, whether it's going for promotion or it's relegation or it's trying to fight out of the middle of the table. That pressure is always there. Expectations now in football will always be way above the reality at every single club. That's just a fact. But what you have to do is embrace that, and I've always tried to embrace that. I've tried to make my teams and my players embrace that expectation, but not to be overbearing. Is to keep it very clear with the players, that clarity of where we're at, and what we need to do on a daily basis. And it's just about the next day and the next game. That's all that matters. And as players, that's kind of how I've always worked, and found that to be successful in terms of the players and how they work and feel the freedom to bring their potential out. So you get all that outside pressure, and internally you can have pressure, but I think the main thing is to make sure you're focused each and every day and allow the players to breathe and bring their best.
Do you feel like you're potentially going to need to hit the ground running a little bit here? Obviously, Lee's had a little bit of time as caretaker, and if he'd have got it, he might have got a little bit more time. But with your experience, do you feel that immediacy of trying to get results a little bit quicker?
You want to win every single game, as a manager, as a player, as fans. Of course you do, and you want to win your first game, your last game, your middle games. I understand that, but I've got experience as well of going in at certain stages of the season with limited games or that pressure to try and win as early as possible. That will always be there, but all you have to do is, and I think the main part is to focus on your process. Know that the training that you do and the everyday improvements that you're trying to strive for and that mentality you're trying to add to is there, and it's improving, because that's what gets you results, and then of course delivering on the pitch. But that's what we fight as managers and players and staff every single day anyway, so that doesn't change. So we want to win every game that we play.
How long's the deal that you've been given here?
Look, it's not really about that. I think it's about just being excited to be here. I want to try and be here for as long as possible. I'm ready to get going. I want to try and make the season as successful as I possibly can. I'll give everything that I can for that, and then be here for hopefully a long, long time. That's always the ambition, and that's what my ambition for this club is. But right now I'm just focused on, let's get ready for the Huddersfield game.
You happy with the tools at your disposal? There's a lot of players here that have got a lot of championship experience.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the squad. As I said, I know the squad very well. I've come up against them a lot, watched a lot of all those players. I know every single one of them. Of course, not so much know them as in like intimately or anything like that, or close up, but obviously watching from afar, coming up against those players. I've seen I'm watching a lot of games and analysing of Sheffield Wednesday over the years. You have a fair idea of what that squad's capable. It's about coming in and helping them realise that potential and that capability, and putting things in place that's going to try and accelerate that and improve it. So that's what I'm looking forward to do. So can't wait to get going with them. Really excited.